guys, Jared Wesley here of Live Traders, and it is that time of the week. It is lecture time. This one, guys, is a very popular topic. You might see some other videos on it. I get questions about it all the time. The question simply is, profitable trading. How long does it take? How long does it take to become a profitable trader? What can you expect in your first year or two of trading? The roller coaster of emotions and learning the charts and money management. What can you expect in that first year or two of trading? Well, you're in luck because that's what we're talking about in today's lecture. And it's very important. It's one of the most important lectures that I have ever done because honestly, if you come into this business with unrealistic expectations, you're not going to last very long. And guess what? Most people come into this business with unrealistic expectations. Where they come from, probably those ridiculous Google ads that tell you you can turn $500 into $1 million. BS, pure and straight bunk. Okay, this is a very tough, very challenging business. Likely, probably, definitely the most challenging thing you will ever try in your entire life. So this video is very important because I'm going to set you straight and give you a realistic view and approach of what you can expect in that first year or two. And stick around to the very end because the last 5 minutes of it, I get real serious with you guys. A little reality check, dunk your head in some cold water type check. Okay, because I know the ads are appealing out there. I know Google's appealing and YouTube's appealing and you all want to get rich quick. None of those things are remotely true in this business, okay? So please, maybe the most important lecture that I've ever done because it's going to set you straight and by doing so, give you a better opportunity to succeed because you'll have a much more realistic approach, all right? If you like the video, please click the like button. If you like the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'm Jared Wesley of Live Traders. Let's get to it. This week's topic is profitable trading. How long does it take? This is a common question. I think probably a lot of folks have done lectures on this topic, I suppose, but I certainly get a ton of emails about this topic. How long can I expect it to take before I make money, Jared? It's very, very frequent, whether it's the chat room, whether it's email, whether it's social media. So I thought that we would spend some time because I don't know that I've done a lecture specifically on this topic. We've talked about it. Certainly we've talked about it, but in terms of doing a specific lecture on it. But before we do that, before we get into how long does it take, we first have to do when will the insanity stop? This week I have two of them for you. And the second one could not have come at a better time. The second one relates to the topic of the day, which is how long does it take to become profitable. So the first one is a sad story, and the second one is as well, but the second one is a little more appropriate to today's topic. Anyway, first one. Lost $40,000 not using a stop loss. I don't know. I don't even know what to say to these things anymore. We've had so many of them. How can anyone still be bullish here? Take off the blinders. Healy sold a total of like 25 hybrid units year to date. That's awful. So basically, this person is speaking from personal experience, having lost $40,000 on HYLN, hoping to save someone else the headache. Guys, why would you ever be in that position? I mean, why would you ever put yourself in the position to lose that kind of money? And the reason I'm coming is it's not, I mean, if you have a multi-million-dollar account, maybe 40,000 bucks isn't so bad, but most of these people that we do these insanity stories on, it's a huge percentage of their account. It's just completely and totally unacceptable to put yourself in any position that would lose significant amounts of money, which again, we're going to talk a little bit about today, but it's the second one that I really wanted to get to today. So I didn't spend much time on this first one. It's kind of a sad story. I mean, but at the same time, it's realistic. This happens to a lot of people, okay? Lost $410,000 in 8 months, okay? Trading is serious business. I mean, you can read this whole thing if you want. I'll leave it up for a minute or so, but all is in the title, it says. It was 95% of my savings. Now I come here not to lament or anything. I have to deal with that blank on my own, all right? My friends and my wife as of now have, so notice my friends and my wife as of now, That's a, funny comment, but bold statement at the same time. Have my trading account frozen anyway. Let's skip down a little. I transformed a $160,000 loss into a $410,000 loss. Week after week, by chunks of $25,000, I kept wiring to reload my day trading limit. This is basically when you must find the strength to stop. I kept dreaming about more multipliers. I can do 3x, 5x, 10x with a good, whatever, 1 p.m. on the Qs, buy at the end of the day, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then go on to say, I lost everything. I don't own any property. My parents are poor, not from the U.S. I'm actually homeless right now, but at least I have a good paying job in the Bay Area. The moral of the story is that it's all fun and games if you play and stick to a small percentage of your savings and absolutely don't refund your account if you take losses. Denial is a stronger force than you think, and addiction to day trades is very real. Okay? Guys, this is a sad story, but it happens every damn week. How do we know? Because I do these segments every stinking week. When is it going to sink in for you guys? Now, I know some of you it does, and you're taking it serious and like, yeah, that's hardcore, Jared. But it doesn't, do you realize, and this is what I'm getting at, it doesn't have to be $410,000 to be a significant loss. If $20,000 is your life savings and you lose $19,000 of it, that's a significant loss to you. So $410,000 significant to this person, it could be $4,000 to somebody else. All right, this is a very, very challenging business, a very serious business, one that takes a long time to get good at, and it's not a joke. Depending, you see Google ads, you see a company out there in the news right now, they're in big, big trouble with the SEC because, well, they're telling people how easy it is. It's not. It's super hard. Okay? So these stories are meant to open your eyes. They're not meant to kick somebody when they're down. They're really meant to open your eyes and say, wait a second. Have I thought this through before I step into the frying pan, so to speak? And that's one of the things we speak of frequently. This is one of the few businesses, one of the only businesses where you go from zero to the pros overnight. There's no other business you do that in. There's no other sport you do that in. You go from no experience to playing with the pros overnight. Imagine that. Just bought a pair of clubs, golf clubs, set of clubs, and now you're playing against Tiger Woods. That's tough. Just picked up a basketball. Hey, LeBron, how's it going? That's what the market is to you when you're new. And somehow, some way, you guys think you're going to come in and beat that. It just defies logic and common sense. It's just stupid, honestly. That's the only word I can think of. It's just stupid. It's dumb. So open your eyes. Wake up. Have some common sense. Get off Wall Street Bets and all these other ridiculous websites that are promising you riches where other people are like, oh, yeah, it's normal to blow up 3 accounts before you get good at this business. If anyone ever says that to you, run. Run as fast as you can. It's never acceptable ever to blow up a trading account. Not ever. Not even one time. Okay? Not even a little bit. Okay? All right. Let's dig in. So what can you expect before you start trading? So we're going to get into the profitability thing and how long it takes in just a second. But I thought before you enter trading, it would be good to talk about that for a couple minutes so that at least you'll have a more realistic approach when you do eventually start. Okay, so what can you expect before you've ever taken your first trade? Okay, before. Well, this is what most of you are going to experience. Pie in the sky. That's what I call it. Before you start, you'll likely fit the description below. At least part of it, maybe not all of it. You'll be overhyped. You'll think it can't be that hard. Google ads are not helping you because they're telling you it's not that hard, okay? You'll likely be undercapitalized. Yes, most of you are undercapitalized. Yes, I know there's tons of you people preying on you out there. Ooh, if you only have $1,000 or $563 or $2,000, you can make a living in this business. Bullshit. They're lying to you. They're lying to you, flat out. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. They're lying to you, okay? $2,000 account, just because you open an account at Interactive Brokers or Trade, it doesn't make you a trader. Most of you are undercapitalized. I mean, you all know you really should have 25, 30 grand at least to do this, right? It's not that you can't do it with less. You can. It's just going to take you a very long time, all right, because of some of the restrictions that we've talked about in the past, right? The SEC and FINRA, they want you to have $25,000 for a reason, okay? So you're likely overhyped. you're likely undercapitalized, okay? And your initial timeline is likely too short. I say likely, I'm really meaning it is, all right? I'm saying that just to kind of be nice about it, all right? Most of you are coming in with a 3 to 12 month timeline. Tell me I'm wrong. Most of you are coming in with a 3 to 12 month timeline. It's not reasonable. Think more like 3 to 12 years, all right? More like 2 to 3 years or more, all right? 2 to 3 years or more. I stress the or more part because it very well might take you longer, and we'll talk about that later on. I'll dig into that deeper. And then the last one I always find fascinating is when I make enough money, when you make enough money, then you'll get the training and education. Common sense alert here. That's the exact opposite of every other job in the world. But I know, you're special. You're God's special child. You are different. We know. I know. You're different. Yep. Guys, common sense is not very common in life, but specifically in the trading business. And a lot of it, some of it's your fault for wanting to get rich quick because there's no such thing in any career in life. And the other part of it, the other half of it is what social media and Google is telling you is possible. All right? Possible and likely are two different things. Somebody, 1 in a million could do something. So that means technically it's possible, right? 1 in a million could do something. Technically it's possible you'll be the next Jeff Bezos. The odds suggest you're 1 in 7.5 billion. So it's possible, sure. Is it likely or realistic? No. Like not even close. Okay? So common sense alert. There's no other career you can have where you make money, they pay you first, and then you learn how to do the job second, right? Nobody's going to make you or let you be an executive or a manager or a CEO without any experience first. Nobody's going to let you on the PGA Tour without any experience first. But in trading, you guys somehow think that that's normal. It's not normal. It never has been normal, all right? So if you're thinking any one of these 4 bullet points, and I'm sure I missed a few, then check yourself. This is before you start. Check the hype. Okay, because this business is hard freaking work. It's really hard work, okay? Are you undercapitalized? If you are, wait. Wait 6 months, save up some more money. Wait a year. I know, you can't wait. Guess what you can do? Trade in simulator for that 6 months while you're saving. You can still learn, but don't you dare trade real money if you only got 2 or 3 grand. But Jared, they charge me $50 a month for the simulator, $100. Oh, well, get over it. Stop drinking Starbucks coffee. Save that $100 a month. Do you really want this as a business, or is this just something you want to hack away at? Most people just want to hack away at it. They think it's a serious business, but they don't treat it or act like it's a serious business. Okay? Exactly, Clay. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Your initial timeline, if it's 3 to 12 months, don't even start. Honestly, I'm not joking. If you can't see yourself or don't have the time to dedicate at least 2 or 3 years, now remember, this doesn't mean you can't keep your day job. In fact, you should keep your day job. But if you can't commit 2 to 3 years to this, no matter what, despite all the frustration, which we'll talk about in a couple slides, don't even start. You don't want a piece of this. You don't want a part of this business if you're going to do it for 0 to 12 months. Trust me, it'll be the worst decision you've ever made. It'll be the most frustrating, stressful, disappointing decision you've ever made if that's what you're going to give it. Okay? Imagine being a boxer and you're like, yeah, I'm going to train for 6 months and then I'm going to go fight Mike Tyson. Yeah, that's going to work out really well. And then you do that over and over and over again. You're just going to leave the business very frustrated, okay? And then this ridiculous mantra of when you make money, then you'll get training. I'm not talking about live trading. You can get your education and training anywhere you want, but get it, okay? Get it. Whether it's from a trading buddy, whether it's from a book you've read, whether it's from a course you've taken, get it. There's no other business in the world where you make the money first and then you get the training second, okay? And no, I know it's hard to believe. You're not different. You're not special. I know. You graduated like summa cum laude from Harvard, and we know. We get it. You're not special, okay? You're not. All right, so if any of those things are you, then you're in the right place today, okay? If you've thought or are thinking any of those things, you're in the right spot today. So what can you expect in your first year of trading, right? Well, let's talk about it. Yes, there are some charts. Don't worry, guys. Whew, relax, woosah. There are some charts here today. Okay. First and foremost, The first year is an emotional year, man. It's a roller coaster. All right. Uncertainty and confusion and lots of mistakes. That's going to encompass your first year of trading. Perhaps even longer. Could be your first 2 years. You're going to be confused initially. Honestly, you're like, I don't even know where to start. Okay. Who do I trust? Where do I start? So there's going to be a lot of uncertainty with that. You're going to make a ton of mistakes to the point where you don't even know you're making the mistakes. And later on, you're going to look back and go, oh my gosh, I used to do that. I shouldn't even have a trading account left after making those types of mistakes. So you're going to go through kind of this little roller coaster. You're going to have initial excitement. This is going to be my future. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to be in my pajamas and I'm going to be at my home office. And I can do this from anywhere in the world with my laptop, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Then you're going to start trading. And then you're going to go through, and you can flip the losing streak and the winning streak. It doesn't matter. Sometimes people start with a winning streak. Sometimes they start with a losing streak. Then you go through a losing streak, and that's going to turn into agony and despair. I'm never going to get this. Trading just sucks. This is so hard. I can't believe it's this hard. Then you're going to go for a winning streak. Oh, man, this is awesome. I'm so close to quitting my job. I mean, I'm just on the precipice of blowing up in a good way. The money's going to start rolling in. Okay? I mean, literally, the tree in the backyard is growing so fast, the money's just going to dangle off the tree. And you're going to go through that losing streak, winning streak, losing streak, like picking petals off of a flower. She loves me not. That's going to be your first year, over and over and over. You might as well go to an amusement park because you're going to be on the roller coaster the whole damn year. Okay? And some of these things are going to be longer and shorter. If you have a long losing streak, you're thinking about walking off a bridge. If you have a long winning streak, you're like getting ready to put your resignation in at your office job. Don't do either of them because they're both fake. The first year, you're supposed to make mistakes. That's what it's all about, making mistakes. And this is why you trade simulator for that first month, and that's why you trade $5 or $10 risk, because you're going to make mistakes. The reality of it is it's a lot harder than you thought it was. So you have to make the decision. Is this something I should keep doing, or is it something I should quit? And only you can answer that question. But I'm telling you, before you ever get into it, this is what you can expect. It will happen to you this way. Okay? There's almost no trader that this doesn't happen to. The only question is, while it's happening, are you being smart enough not to blow up your trading account? That's really the question that this all boils down to. While you're on the roller coaster ride at Dorney Park or Six Flags Great Adventure, while you're on it, are you being smart enough not to bust up your trading account? That's really it at the end of the day. And I hope the answer to that is yes, you're being smart enough not to blow up your account. Because guys, let me say this to you, and we're just getting into this, right? It's okay to fail. But you know what's not okay? To fail and blow up your account. That's not acceptable. So if you have a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 account and you start trading, and after 6 or 12 months you're like, this just isn't for me, you shouldn't have lost very much money. You should not have lost very much money. Say you had a $20K account, you lost $1,000. All right, you'll live to fight another day. You'll put your money somewhere else and start a different career. Fine. But if you lost 19 of the 20,000, that's a whole different problem. But you're going to lose in the first year. Break even if you're lucky. Okay? Make money, lose money. You're just going to lack consistency. That's just all. This is what you can expect in the first year. You're going to build a plan. You're going to break the plan. Expect it. I guarantee it. You'll build a plan. Some of you won't even build a plan, but you'll build it and then you'll break it. It's constant adjustments. It's constant learning all the time. That's what the first year is all about. And you're going to learn through failure and mistakes. But you can expect lots of uncertainty, lots of confusion, and lots of mistakes. And guess what? It's normal. Don't even feel bad about it. Don't feel like a failure because everyone else is going through the same thing. If you see them in the chat room and they look like they have a stride to their step, guess what? They're on the winning streak. If they look like they're about to walk off a cliff, they're on the losing streak. You'll flip-flop in a month. Don't worry. You'll both switch positions with each other. Hot potatoes. Okay? So if you're experiencing these things, it is normal. Don't fret. It's okay. Your only goal is to try to be better the next day. Every day, try to be better. Okay? So, couple things. Uncertainty and confusing. What are some of those things? Hey, what platform do I choose? TradeStation, Interactive Brokers, Fidelity, Thinkorswim. Those are kind of the 4 big ones, at least in the United States. Now, don't get me wrong, Interactive Brokers, TradeStation, they also have international branches as well. I cannot speak for every country. Like, for example, TradeStation is not available in Canada, but it's available in a lot of places in Europe. But these are some good platforms to start. What data do I need? I get this question all the time recently. You need level 2. NASDAQ and New York level 2 data is fine. If you trade Amex stocks, get that too. That's it. You don't need the craziest, most ridiculous data package, total view, and level 3. You don't need that stuff. Okay? What are all these damn order types? Market orders, limit orders, stop limit orders, markets, OCO, OSOs. Guys, they're different types of orders for different types of entries, meaning one's for an entry, one's for a stop loss, one's for a target. We'll talk about it in a second. How do I set up my charts and time frames? Well, guess what? This could take a week for us to go over that. Why? There's so many different trading platforms. What's my recommendation to you? Every platform is different. Use the simulator for the first month. If you need more time, stay on the simulator for a second month. There's no shame in being on the simulator. Yeah, it's not entirely real, right? They're fake fills, but at least you're learning the order types. You're learning your platform, how to build a chart, how to put an indicator on a chart, how to add volume to the chart. Take your time. If it takes a month or 2 to learn your platform, then it takes a month or 2 to learn your platform. If you think this is going to be your career, what's a couple months? Right? You spent 4 years in college just going to frat parties. You didn't learn a whole lot there, but you don't want to go on a simulator for a month or 2. Okay? Example of orders. Market orders. I'm putting this in because I've been getting this question a lot recently. Normally, I wouldn't put this slide in here. Market order, you only use when you absolutely have to get out of a position. Your fill is guaranteed virtually immediately depending on the liquidity of the stock. However, your price is not guaranteed. You're at the mercy of the market. Okay? That means you made a mistake. You shouldn't be in the trade. You need to get out. That's when you'd use a market order. Otherwise, you should be using market orders very, very infrequently. Stop market order is different. We'll talk about that in a second. But you should be using sheer market orders very infrequently, not often. Limit orders used to exit a position when you're at target. Can also be used to buy on a pullback, bidding to buy or offering to sell, okay, on a short bounce. All right, these are for targets. All right, these are for targets. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this slide. Stop market orders. You should always use these for your stop losses. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is where most traders are getting themselves in trouble. They're getting into trades and they're not using stop losses. Or if they use a stop loss, they're using a stop limit order for the stop loss. No, you need to use a stop market order. Sure, you might take some slippage. But guess what? You should have known about the slippage before you got into the business. Why? Because the spread, the volume, all those things are considerations in for your what? Your pre-trade checklist. Every trader has a pre-trade checklist, right? Wink, wink, right? Before you get into every trade, there's a checklist you go over, like pilots and checklists. We've done a video on that already, right? Sure you do. Well, stop market order is part of it, okay? You always have a protective stop loss. Anybody who tells you otherwise, don't walk, run away. Run away. Now, some people will disagree with me on this topic, but guess what? You have to learn proper technique before you've earned the right, and I do mean that, earned the right to do what you want to do. Does that make sense what I'm saying? What I mean is you learn how to do it by the book first. And then once you become profitable over the course of several years and you're consistently profitable, then you can be a little bit flexible with some of these rules. But in the beginning, there's no flexibility. It's rigid. Learn the rules. Prove you can follow them first before you're allowed any inch of leeway. Okay? Stop limit orders should be used for all of your entries. All of your entries. Does that make clear? All of them? Don't use stop market orders. Imagine if you used a stop market order today for your entry on, what was that stock, guys, that Anmol was talking about? OCML or something like that? I can't remember. It dropped, I'm not exaggerating, it dropped $10 in less than 1 minute. $10 in less than 1 minute. If you used a stop market order to enter that position, you probably would have been filled about $5 late. Yes, you heard me, $5 late most likely. Okay? Don't use stop market orders for entry. Use stop limit orders. Your fill's not guaranteed, okay? But it allows you to decide how much room you're willing to give it. It allows you to decide how much you're willing to pay up for this position. So if you can't get filled in that range, right? If you can't get filled in that range, then you really shouldn't be in that position because you made the decision, all right, I'm going to give it 20 cents to get filled. If you can't fill me within those 20 cents, I don't want to get filled. So entries, stop limit orders. Stop market orders are used for stop losses. Limit orders are used for targets, and market orders should almost never be used unless you made a significant mistake and you need to get out right now. Okay? All right. Uncertainty and confusion. This also lends to, what patterns do I trade? I don't know. Choose one or two and master them before trying to learn more patterns. Know that. Pick one or two. What criteria do you use for those patterns? This is where your pre-trade checklist comes in. What does R mean? R means risk level. This is the amount of money you're going to risk per trade. New traders should only be risking $5 or $10 per trade when they're new. Why? Because you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Okay? Lose small. Lose small. You're not trying to make money in your first year. You're just learning how to trade. Anybody who tells you different is lying to you. You're just learning how to do it. Okay? So risk small amounts of money. What management should you use? Get this one frequently. I think, just a personal opinion, I think starting out with 2R all or nothing is a good benchmark. Is it very challenging to follow? Yes, it is. But start out with 2R all or nothing and see how you do. Can you follow it? Are you struggling to follow it? And then find out or learn where it is that you're struggling. Once it gets up over an R, what if it gets up like Disney today, up 1.8 R and it came all the way back down and stopped out? Do you find you're throwing your keyboard across the room when that happens? If so, then maybe 2R all or nothing is not right for you and maybe you need to add some adjustments. Right? This is going to take some time to sort out. I would say your management is going to take you the better part of the entire year to sort out before you finally feel comfortable with a management strategy that suits your personality and your time frame. And I'm going to repeat that one last point there. One of the biggest reasons traders fail is they don't pick a management strategy that suits their personality style. Right? I'll repeat it. They don't pick a management strategy that suits their personality. And because of that, they can't follow it. And when you don't follow it, bad things happen. All right? How many trades a day should you take? 2 to 5 is plenty. Some of you are going to take more, some of you are going to take less. I average about 2, sometimes 3, 40 to 50 trades a month. Today we took 2. Okay? That can change. Remember, once you become profitable, you earn the right to add flexibility to your trading. In the beginning, be very rigid. Learn things by the book, so to speak. Prove you can do them first. And then there's tons of other questions. But guys, it takes years to learn this business. Right? It takes years to learn this business. You're not going to learn all these things in 3 months or 6 months. And I know what some of you are thinking, I don't have that kind of time. Well, then this isn't your business. I don't know a whole lot of businesses, guys, where you can literally just come in 3 months, be really good at it. I mean, are you going to get a 3-star Michelin, 3 stars from the Michelin Guide after 3 months in business and you've never cooked before? Probably not. Are you going to be the CEO of Amazon and you just graduated college? Probably not. Are you going to win the MVP in the NHL and you just put on a pair of skates for the first time? Probably not. So why is trading any different? So this is just a sampling of some of the patterns you can choose from, guys. Buy setups, breakouts, flags, triangles, turnaround bars, parabolics, 3-bar, 4-bar plays, retest buy setups, all of those things, guys. Okay? Pick 1 or 2 of these. There's tons of patterns. There's variations of every one of these patterns. There's short versions of every one of these patterns. Okay? Pick 1 or 2. Which one's best? Which one's the most profitable? None of them, all of them. The one you trade the best. Which one should I choose, Jared? I get that question all the time. I don't know. Which one looks interesting to you? Seriously, which one looks interesting to you? Choose that one. Try to trade that for a while. See how it goes. Keep fine-tuning it, refining it. Okay? Now, this is an area that's going to bother you for a while. This area. You guys have all seen this chart before, right? This slide before. You think, and this one's really going to bug you, you think you're taking this. When you're new, this is what you think. You're like, oh, yeah, I read that. I saw that video. I took professional trading strategies. Yeah, I know what the 3-bar play is. Yeah, I got it. This is what you think you're doing. You're not. You're not doing this. Okay? Let's take a look. This is you. Wide bar, narrow bar, about to get in over here. And you're going, but Jared, it looks just like the slide you showed. It looks just like the slide you showed. Is it not the same thing? They're not the same thing. Some of you right now are going, what do you mean it's not the same thing? They look identical. They're not. And this is part of being new. There's so many things that you missed. Up 15%. It's a lot for a $100 stock. Past its average daily trading range. It's up $6, $5. That's past its average trading. Guys, this is a stock that averages $2 a day. It averages $2 per day in range. And it's done $5 to $6 today, and you're buying the high of the day. And then you wonder why it didn't work. You're like, but Jared, I followed the slide perfectly. I mean, it looks just like it, but it didn't work. It doesn't look like just like it, and it shouldn't work. It's not supposed to work. It's not supposed to work because you took a bad trade. You thought it was a 3-bar play, but it really wasn't per the textbook. Okay? Oops. What happened? Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days up. And the 8th day, it gapped up 15%. Right? 2, 4, 6, 7 days plus a 15% gap. And it moved up $6 after the gap up. Wow. And you think you took the slide I just showed you. Worst thing that can happen to you is this trade works and it reinforces a bad habit. So you're going to take trades that you think are textbook, and they are anything but textbook. They are not textbook. Neither is this. And it's going to happen to you over and over again. Here's another example. Wide bar, narrow bar. Ooh, 3-bar play, right? Jared, it's below support. Perfect. Tradable void below. Perfect. Wide range igniting bar. Awesome. Volume spike. Awesome. Bar number 2 is in the lower 50%. My goodness gracious. Near a whole number. Whew, Jared. Just sign me up. There it is. I found it. Okay, I messed up on the last trade, but this one, this trade, this is the one. I followed all the rules. But you're trading in a vacuum off this slide. You're not looking at the higher time frame. Why did it fail? Oh, wait, we don't know that it failed yet. Let's watch it fail. Oops, what happened? Oops, what happened? But, and this is when I get emails from people. But Jared, this trade didn't work. Why? I did everything right. I did it by the book, man. Are you telling me those patterns don't work? Exactly. The average trading range has been shot on this thing. It's up like $3 in range on a stock that does $1 or $2 a day. And you're shorting the low after a huge move. But again, these are things that you have to learn the hard way sometimes. And it's okay. You're not going to be perfect. It's almost not even your fault. You're human. You have to make mistakes to learn. That's what we do. We're people. We only learn from mistakes. I mean, sure, we can learn from good things that happen, but we learn mostly from our mistakes. So these things are going to happen. Not might happen to you. They're going to happen to you. There's a 100% chance they're going to happen to you. And then this will happen. You're going to take a nice 3-bar play, wide bar, narrow bar, rip, and it's actually going to be a nice 3-bar play, right? It's actually going to be a nice 3-bar play. And you're not going to have done anything wrong on the pattern, but you're sure going to mess up the management. To our target, 80-cent target, 83.80, but you get nervous and sell for a 50-cent gain. Jared, this business is relentless. I finally learned the damn patterns. I finally got them down. Multiple time frame analysis, pattern boosters, wide bar, narrow bar, blast off. I got the patterns, and now this damn management thing is bugging me. I keep selling too soon. I know. You know what the worst part is? The patterns are the easiest part of the business. Learning the patterns is the easiest part of the business. A 5th grader could learn the patterns. A 3rd grader could learn the patterns. The management is what preys on your mind, right? This business is a mind F, right? And then after you do all that, we're not done. We're not done. So finally you got the patterns down, right? Eventually you get the management down, right? You're like, okay, there's nothing left. I'm golden now. Oh. Then it's this damn level 2 thing. This stock's got a 10-cent spread. This one's got a 15-cent spread. This one's got a 42-cent spread. Oh, my goodness gracious. Now I'm having a hard time getting filled. So I know what the pattern needs to look like. I'm very disciplined with my management, but I'm getting skipped half the time. Unbelievable, Jared. This business, it just doesn't, cut me a break already. Do you see where this roller coaster is going, guys? During your first year or 2 of trading? You're still on the thing. You're not off the roller coaster yet. And then you wonder, Jared, I got skipped. I keep getting skipped on these trades. Why? Well, you're taking stocks that are either too thin or too spready, or you're not starting your order soon enough. So, all right, we got the patterns down. Finally getting the management down. And now we're stuck with order entry. And then that takes a little longer. Do you see how it takes a while to get all of these things to put together, guys, in the right spot? That's exactly how it happens. And then you chip away at it. You slowly get a little better, a little better, a little better, and then there's a setback. And then you get a little better, and then there's a setback. And you're going to go through this ebb and flow for a while. Because pattern recognition is only step 1. You still need the confidence to take it. You need the order entry to get filled. You need the trade management so you don't sell too soon. And then you also need the discipline to take your stop loss when they don't work. Let's go through that one more time. Pattern recognition is only step 1. Then you still have to have the confidence to pull the trigger on that pattern. You have to have good enough order entry skills to actually get filled on that pattern. And then trade management not to sell it too soon. And then if it doesn't work, the discipline to take your stop loss. My goodness gracious. And I'm sure there's some things I even missed there. Pretty charts are nice and all, but pretty charts don't pay you unless you do all the rest of these things properly. Okay? Pretty charts don't pay you unless you do everything else properly. Okay? So now, as we wrap this up and get close to the end, I have a few more slides for you guys. Okay? A few more. How long to be an executive or a management level person? I took this from study.com. Honestly, I did this like an hour ago, so I didn't have time to get like 10 different references. Okay? But I think we can use common sense. So what are your career requirements to be an executive? Bachelor's degree, a graduate degree is preferred. Well, that's 4 to 6 years right there, isn't it? Right? 4 to 6 years right there, isn't it? You haven't even begun your career. You're still in college. But you guys are going to make money in 3 to 6 months in trading. Then you need 5 years or more of experience. 5 to 10 years of experience. So where does that leave us? A minimum of 9 years, right? 4 years for a degree and 5 years for experience. A minimum of 9 years of your life. Possibly as much as 15 years, depending if you need 10 years of experience and a graduate degree. So 9 to 15 years. And the median salary for chief executives, not average executives, which is about $105,000. Chief executives, you know, I'm CEO, bitch, you know, $189,000 in 2018. But wait, you're special. You're special. You're going to make twice that in trading in 6 months. You got to go pay $50,000 to $200,000 to get a bachelor's degree. 5 years of experience to make $189,000. And that's if you did it the right way and you didn't mess around for those 5 years or spend all your time at the bar in college. So you need 10 to 15 years of experience to make $189,000. And that's for chief executives. What about an average executive? $105,000 a year. But no, you're special. You're going to do it in 6 months, 12 months. Okay? Yep. Good luck with that. So, this is what you're after, guys. Prepare properly. Lower your expectations to a reasonable level. 2 to 3 years for small profits. Small profits. Not enough to take out your job. Not enough to quit your job. Most likely. Very few of you will be fortunate enough after 2 to 3 years that you can, but that'll be very few of you. Make sure you're properly capitalized. It's a business. Be sure to use a professional trading platform. This Robinhood crap and all this other stuff you see out there, it's for broke people. Honestly, I mean, I don't know the statistics on Robinhood, but I bet you 98% of their clients have less than 10 grand in their account. I bet you. I don't know, but I bet it. Take your time to learn the trading platform. Okay? Take your time. If it takes you an extra month, it takes you an extra month. But learn the buttons. Know how it works before you go out there and play with the pros. Get proper training and education. Every other career requires it. So does trading. It's no different. Okay? I find it fascinating how people consider it a sales pitch when somebody says get an education in trading, but they don't consider it a sales pitch. They consider it normal in every other career out there. Oh, Dad, I want to be a professional golfer. Well, go get golf lessons, son. Oh, yeah, it's a good idea, Dad. Dad, I want to be a professional trader. I'm looking at this trading course. Oh, that's just a bunch of garbage. Don't waste your time and money. Huh. Very fascinating. Build a professional trading plan with goals and a daily routine before you start trading. And then you'll slowly add to this. You can only add to it after you learn trading, right? So you'll have basic rules when you start, and then you'll slowly fine-tune it. You'll slowly fine-tune it as you go along, okay? Always risk small amounts of money, which means use good money management, $5 to $10 when you're new. Find a trading buddy. This is an area I think a lot of people skip. Find an accountability partner or a trading buddy. I'll repeat, find a trading buddy or an accountability partner. Somebody that you can push ideas off of, bounce ideas back and forth. Somebody who really genuinely, you care about each other's success to the point where you'll let them know if they're really messing up. Hey man, you can't do that stuff and expect to be successful. Have them review your trades, your management. Somebody that you respect in the sense that if they give you advice, you'll listen. And if they chastise you, you'll listen. Because if you don't have an accountability partner, it's going to be tough. Trading in an office by yourself with no consequence is a recipe for disaster. Most of you do well at your job because you're scared of the boss or you want to get a promotion. So you want to make the boss happy so you don't get fired or so you get a promotion. You don't have that in trading. And recognize the challenges, right? Recognize the challenges. It's going to help keep you focused and realistic. It's tough, 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 tough business. I don't think I added enough toughs in there. Be objective and seek help when necessary. And this is where a trading and accountability partner will help you. And you're never going to stop learning. I've been doing this a long time and I'm learning all the time. All the time. Okay? Year one should look like this. If you're break even or you lose a little bit of money in your first year, you are doing well. I didn't say that's normal. I said you're doing well. That's good. Because most people in their first year, you can take the little and put a lot right there. They lose a lot of money. So if you're break even or lost a little bit of money, $300, $500, maybe even $1,000, that's not bad for your first year. I mean, $5 or $10 risk takes a lot of trades, right? You got to lose 100 trades to lose $1,000 at $10 risk. It's a lot of lost trades. Most people, they can transform the little into a lot. Don't lose a lot of money your first year. Yes, it is normal to break even or lose in your first year. If somebody tells you differently, they're lying to you. Don't even sugar it. They're lying to you. Okay? Year 2 is when you should slowly start to see more consistency and very small amounts of money. You're still going to be inconsistent. From month 12 to month 24, you're still going to be inconsistent, but you will see more consistency. But you're not likely going to see much money. I promise you, you're not likely going to see much money. Year 3, now this is when now you start catching your stride. Month 24 to 36, when the consistency becomes, consistent. You start seeing 500, 1,000 a month, maybe a couple thousand a month, maybe more for some of you. That's when you start scaling. The back half of year 2 into year 3 is when you'll start seeing scalability. Okay? Years 3 to 5, this is when you become what I would consider a professional or borderline professional. Again, assuming you go through the steps properly. I mean, there are people that hack around to this for 5 or 10 years and they consistently lose because, they don't take it that seriously. You know? It is, Amy. It's amazing how quickly an account can grow with diligence. But it'll take time, right? So this is when you should be getting closer to that 1% risk per trade and significant gains. But again, that could be closer to year 5 than it is closer to year 3. And guess what? You can throw some of this out the window for a lot of folks. It might take you a heck of a lot longer. Year 1 might take you 2 years. Year number 2, that might take you 3 years. Year number 3 might take you 5 or 6 years. Everybody's different. Everybody is different. I get emails all the time from folks where they ask a question. I'm like, wow, it's taken you a while to get this. And that's okay. If your goal is to be a trader and you're being smart, which means risking small amounts of money, keeping your day job, then the timeline shouldn't matter to you. I repeat myself a lot. If you're doing things properly, really working hard and studying hard and risking $5 or $10 a trade, and you keep your day job, or maybe your spouse has a job, then the timeline shouldn't matter that much to you if you're dedicated and want to do this as a career, because it's going to take you a heck of a lot longer than you think. One of the things I tell new traders is take your timeline. I don't even know what your timeline is, and triple it. And that might be enough time. I say it because most people come in with a 1-year timeline. I say, we'll triple it. 3 years should be enough to make some progress. Never, ever, ever, ever. It should never take multiple accounts to succeed. Multiple blown accounts to succeed. It's just garbage advice. I saw somebody who actually I have some respect for. Guy's got a pretty big YouTube channel. It actually has some decent videos out there. And I have a lot of respect for his advice. And he was saying it's going to take multiple blown accounts to succeed. And I just thought, wow, he lost a lot of credibility with that statement. It's garbage advice. Garbage advice. Should never take that. Should never blow up a trading account. Okay? This kind of stuff right here is completely unacceptable. Utterly, completely, and totally unacceptable. Minus 15% today. Minus 17% this week. Minus 94% this month. Guys, it should never be you. You should never be looking at these and going, yeah, that was me or that is me. It should never, ever happen to you. This is what stupidity looks like. I'm not being harsh. This is what stupidity looks like. We live in a PC world where you're not allowed to tell the truth anymore. This is garbage. This should never be you, ever. Don't let it be you. Hopefully watching these things or seeing these other people make mistakes will be enough of a wake-up call. And it's one of the reasons I do the insanity segment every single week. I try not to skip them so it's still fresh in your mind every week that this is real. These really happen to real people. Blowing up $410,000 in 8 months really happens to people. Check yourself. And yet, and I know, you're going, Jared, why do you have to be so Jared? Why can't you just be nice Jared for a day? And yet, most of you are still going to fail. I know. You're like, Jared, can't you just end on a high note? Nope, not today. Most of you are still going to fail. I just went through all that stuff because most of you aren't going to listen. You're still going to have a timeline that's too short and you're going to make up an excuse. But you don't understand, Jared. You just don't get it, Jared. You're not in my shoes. You don't understand. No, I get it. The market just doesn't care. That's what you don't get. So your timeline will be too short. But Jared, I didn't take the stop loss because I knew it was going to come back. And didn't you see the tweet from the CEO? They said sales are awesome. So I knew it was going to come back, so I didn't take my stop loss. I don't know why it keeps going lower. Okay. You didn't follow the rules. You don't have a plan, or you have a plan, you don't follow it. You blow up your account because of poor money management. You sell too soon on the winners, take full advantage of the losers. Okay? You're just simply not cut out for this level of personal accountability. You're just not. You lack objectivity. You frequently lie to yourself and you live in denial. You won't work hard enough to overcome your shortcomings. And this one is the big one. Guys, nobody wakes up as a great trader. You're not born as a great trader. You're made into a great trader. We all have things in our personality and our core beliefs that hurt us as traders. We have some things that help us as traders. We also have a lot of things that hurt us as traders. Most of you don't spend enough time figuring out what your shortcomings are so that you can minimize those shortcomings or work to become better at those shortcomings, which is the same as minimizing them. So maximizing your strengths, minimizing your weaknesses, most of you don't spend the time. That's where most of your time should be spent. You know, like in golf where you see all the guys hitting drivers on the driving range when 70% of the game is under 100 yards? Get yourself out of trouble around the greens. Get up and down. Those types of things make you a good golfer. Well, understanding your personality and your shortcomings in trading, those are the things that make you a great trader. And you won't know those things when you first start or before you start. You're going to learn them about 3 to 6 months into your trading career, and they're going to be very apparent. You're just going to do what? You're going to ignore them at first and deny them at second. You'll ignore them, go, whatever, I'm just new, I'm still learning. And then you're going to realize, this isn't going away. This selling too soon thing's not going away. And then you're going to deny it. And you're going to say, well, I'll be better tomorrow. I'll be better next week. You know, you had a really good Friday, so you have a happy weekend. You had a really bad Friday, so you're depressed all weekend. It's weird how I know these things. Been through them. So you don't work hard enough to overcome your shortcomings. And despite everything I've just said, you all want it more. Don't tell me. Nobody tells me I can't do this. Nobody tells me I can't do something, Jared. And then you're going to give me some story about 12 years ago, how somebody told you were never going to make it and you proved them wrong and blah, 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 blah. I've heard it 1,000,000 times and then some. You're going to fail. Some of you will succeed. It's like when the college professor in medical school says, everybody stand up. Look to your left. Okay. Look to your right. That person won't be here in a year. Do it in trading. Take a screenshot of the names in the room. A year from now, see if they're still here. Yep, you heard me. I'm not sugarcoating today. I'm telling you how it is. And yet, despite everything I've just told you, you guys want it more now. You want it more. Some of you will be discouraged by what I said, but most of you are going, I'll prove him wrong. He doesn't know me. I'm different. This guy, who does he think he is? Well, like I said, actions speak louder than words. We'll see a year from now. Are you still here? What you doing? It's not meant to be rude or mean. It's meant to be a reality check. It's meant to be a reality check. Okay? It's not meant to discourage. It's meant to wake you up so that you're not blinded to what the real truths and challenges are in this business. It's a wake-up call, okay? as Gordon Gekko says, here's your wake-up call, pal. Get to work. We'll find out in a year, 2 or 3. You still here or not? With that, we're going to close down today's lecture on that negative note. I hope you guys learned a little bit today about what you can expect in your first year of trading, because I may have missed a couple things. I put this together yesterday, so again, did it on the fly. I may have missed a couple things, but I think you can expect to experience most of the things that I just talked about. All right, and hopefully, you'll be one of the people that does it right, and a year or 2 or 3 from now, you're killing it and doing really well, like Cliff Clark or like Roy or like One More Note, etc. and so forth. So, hope you enjoyed the lecture. I'm Jared Wesley. We'll get back at it again next week.